Hi guys, and welcome back to our videos on our Chemical World unit. Over the next few lessons, we're going to be looking at a series of different chemical reactions. So in our previous video, we talked about signs of a chemical change. So a gas being produced, a solid appearing or disappearing, heat change, so either getting really cold or really hot, fizzing, and a color change. What we're going to do now is see some of those chemical changes in action in a variety of different chemical reactions. So the number of different ones we're going to look at are listed down here on the side. So we're going to look at combustion reactions. So that's a type of reaction where we're looking at burning an acid plus a metal. What happens when acids add to a metal? What are our products in that type of reaction? An acid plus a carbonate, corrosion, precipitation, neutralization, and decomposition. So we're going to have a very short, brief video on each one of these different topics, and in class we're going to use that time to do our experiments. So let's get on to our first one. So the first one we're going to look at, first of all, is an acid plus a metal. So when an acid reacts with a metal, we will often get a vigorous reaction. We'll often see fizzing, indicative of a gas being produced. The outside of the test tube might get hot. Again, those are those signs that we were looking at that a chemical change has happened. So when a chemical change has happened, we know a reaction has occurred, and therefore we are forming new products. So what products are we forming when an acid reacts with a metal? So when we have an acid reacting with a metal, the typical general equation is that we get an acid plus a metal gives a salt plus hydrogen. So we're going to need to know what salt is actually being produced, and we're also going to get a hydrogen gas forming. So in this reaction here, we can often test this hydrogen gas being produced with its indicative test, which is our POP test, which you will have used also in class or tested in class. So if we look here, we can see our common general formula: an acid plus a metal makes a salt plus hydrogen. Now in class and in exams, you're expected to be able to write the word equation for this. So not the general word equation as I have written on the board, but the word equation for the actual reaction that you have performed. So an example is here above, where we have magnesium. Magnesium's a metal, plus our hydrochloric acid, and it is going to produce our magnesium chloride and our hydrogen. So that salt is specific to the actual reactants that took place in that reaction. Now, when we name our salts, we're always naming them from the metal. Magnesium here, you can see it's the magnesium over this way, and hydrochloric acid always makes a chloride, which you can see over here that we get our magnesium chloride there. And hydrogen's always going to be standard in that regard. Now, earlier in this unit, we talked about some acids and some common acids. The acids you're going to use are more than likely to be your hydrochloric acid, which will form chlorides, our nitric acid, which will always form nitrates, and our sulfuric acid, which will make our sulfates. So we'll practice writing a few of these in class.